Hello there. Um, it has certainly been a while. You might notice things sound a little bit different today, I suppose. Well, I've decided to use my desktop microphone this time rather than I've been using a lapel mic for the last couple of videos. So hopefully this will sound better. Uh, I'm also still going to use the lapel mic though. It's currently on my desk. It's just capturing like the ambient noise. So you'll hear stuff like page turning and flipping. So we'll still include that, but I wanted to use more of a professional mic, switch things up a little bit. Yeah, this is actually the first time I'm recording in daylight, and yes, it's been about 2 weeks, I believe. So was on a little bit of a break there, I guess. But we'll pick up where we left off. All right, so here we have the interior wilderness, defining who you are from the inside out. And yeah, I guess we're just jumping into it too. This is what I believe, that I am I, that my soul is a dark forest, that my known self will never be more than a little clearing in the forest, that gods, strange gods, come forth from the forest into the clearing of my known self and then go back, that I must have the courage to let them come and go, that I will never let mankind put anything over me, but that I will try always to recognize and submit to the gods in me and the gods in other men and women. There is my creed. D.H. Lawrence, Studies in Classic American Literature. So, there haven't really been any new updates in my life, I suppose. Just the ever looming graduation coming up, I suppose, since I'm in my final year of college. But um, yeah, it's just a busy time. Um, I will say this mic is a little bit of weird positioning because it's like to the side. I have to like speak to it to the side while also trying to read. So I honestly might just move the mic over, even if it's. I didn't want to like put it in the shot, but at this point, I think maybe convenience might be a little uh, better in this case. So you're gonna see a little bit of my microphone stand. Um, Hopefully, it's not too big of an issue. And yeah. Oh, and you can see I tried sprucing up the table a little, with a teddy bear. So it doesn't have a name, uh, but it's a cute little plushy charm. um, yeah, cozy vibes. All right, I'll put a little teddy here to the side. But let's continue. Heartspur. Noun. An unexpected surge of emotion in response to a seemingly innocuous trigger. The distinctive squeal of a rusty fence. A key change in an old pop song. The hint of a certain perfume, which feels all the more intense because you can't quite pin it down. From heart plus spur. A spike on a heel that urges a horse to move forward. Wow. I almost could have sworn heartspur was an actual word. Actually, you might want to check that right now, actually. But Heartspur. No, I'm surprised it's not actually a real word. Or it's not a commonly used one, at least outside of the dictionary of obscure sorrows. Very interesting. Yeah. Vocacy. Noun. The fear that you're little more than a product of your circumstances, that for all the thought you put into shaping your beliefs and behaviors and relationships, you're essentially a dog being trained by whatever stimuli you happen to encounter, reflexively drawn to whoever gives you reliable hits of pleasure, skeptical of ideas that make you feel powerless. From Jacques de Vaucanson, a French engineer who built a series of lifelike programmable machines, also known as automata, including his masterpiece, the digesting duck, which could flap its wings and quack, drink water, and digest bits of grain into simulated excrement, pronounced vocacy. Sometimes we feel like we're just products of our circumstances, but part of, I think, free will is accepting that that's going to be an inevitability, but we still ultimately make our own choices. Cool little word there. Liberosis, the desire to care less about things, to figure out a way to relax your grip on your life and hold it loosely and playfully, keeping it in the air like a volleyball, with quick and fleeting interventions, bouncing freely in the hands of trusted friends, always in play. Italian, libero, free. A libero is a position on a volleyball team that can move at greater liberty than other players, subbing freely and without permission, with an emphasis on keeping the ball in play. Pronounced liberosis. Emadux. Noun. Someone whose mood is perpetually out of sync with everyone else around them, prone to feelings of nap time panic, heart-to-heart snark, or dance club pensiveness. From emotional plus stocks, not conforming to expected norms. Pronounced Emadox. Nighthawk. Noun. A recurring thought that only seems to strike you late at night. An overdue task. A nagging guilt. A looming future, which you sometimes manage to forget for weeks, only to feel it land on your shoulder once again, quietly building a nest. Nighthawks is a famous painting by Edward Hopper, depicting a lonely corner diner late at night. In logging, a nighthawk is a metal ball that slid up and down a riverboat's flagpole to aid pilots in navigation. I think I've got some of my own nighthawks at this point, mainly many overdue assignments, but I think that one hit a little bit. The guilt rights. Noun. The imaginary committee of elders that keeps a running log of all your mistakes, steadily building their case that you're secretly a fraud, a coward, a doofus, and a douche who would have revoked your good fortune years ago had they not been hampered by their own bitter squabblings over proper grammar and spelling. Old English, guilt. Awareness of wrongdoing, plus rot, shaped with hammers, pronounce the guilt rots, the guilt rights. Dementia. The post-distraction effort to recall the reason you're feeling particularly anxious or angry or excited, trying to retrace your sequence of thoughts like a kid gathering the string of a downed kite. From ancient Greek, nemane, or nemine, to give what is due, plus Latin, dementia, without mind, pronounced dementia. The whipgraph delusion. Wow. It is a noun, and it's defined as the phenomenon in which you catch your reflection in the mirror and get the sense that you're peering into the eyes of a stranger, as if you're looking at a police sketch of your own face aged forward 20 years, which would imply that the real you is out there somewhere, wandering the streets of your old neighborhood, still at large. In horticulture, whipgrafting is when you fuse the top of one plant to the bottom of another. In psychology, the Capgras delusion is the conviction that a loved one has been replaced by an identical-looking imposter. A little bit of invasion of the body snatchers there. I've got deep gut. It's a noun, and it's a resurgent emotion that you hadn't felt in years, that you might have forgotten about completely if your emotional playlist hadn't accidentally been left on shuffle. In music, a deep cut is a lesser-known track that only an artist's true fans or completists might appreciate. Now, I think that's a good stopping point for this episode. I'm actually trying to keep them a little bit on the shorter side since I know the last couple ones have been quite long. I think probably more frequent episodes of shorter duration might be better. No, I'm also thinking of ways to maybe switch up the format of videos, but we'll see how it goes. So, thank you for joining on this video, and see you in the next one. I'll probably record the next one in a little bit.